Welcome to Performing Data in Australasia, a project for researchers who are interested in utilising data from live performing arts databases.
Kia ora, I'm Dr. Sarah Thomasson and I'm a senior lecturer at Te Herenga Waka, Victoria University of Wellington.
Data as documentation is about the information we record in archiving live performance events. In the not-so-distant past, fans of theatre, dance, opera or musicals might have collected and stored ticket stubs, playbills, programs, cast recordings, and the like in a shoebox under the bed. These collected artefacts were objects that stood in for the fundamentally ephemeral experience of live performance. But they were also private collections, difficult to disseminate and share widely. Now, in the 21st century, things are different. Ticket stubs are almost a thing of the past. Almost all this once material ephemera now exists in cyberspace. As Sarah Bay Cheng has remarked, digital technologies have fundamentally changed the ways in which we record, write, and recall the history of performance. So how is live performance being archived and documented in the digital age? Digital databases are one model for capturing and storing information about live performance. They are large repositories of information that was previously difficult to access or was even inaccessible. Such databases exist all around the world, and they are often organised nationally. Examples in this vein include the Abbey Theatre Archives Performance Database in Ireland, AusStage in Norway, the Scottish Theatre Archive, and the German Theatrescapes. Two Australasian examples are AusStage and Theatre Aotearoa. Both databases cover drama, physical theatre, opera, music theatre, dance, site-specific performance, and more. Importantly, both are open access and searchable by the public. AusStage was created in 1999, and according to Deborah Kaplan, is among the most sophisticated and promising efforts to develop a digital database for theatre and performance research. It was conceived as a fundamentally collaborative project, one that could be contributed to by universities, arts organisations, government agencies, and private citizens. Any individual who completes a training module can contribute to the database, and many do. Theatre Aotearoa is a smaller but no less ambitious project. It was started in 2004 by Lisa Warrington at the University of Otago with the goal of housing information about every theatre production in New Zealand from the 1840s to the present. In 2023, the Theatre Aotearoa data are being migrated to the AusStage database so that they can be accessed via the AusStage platform. For researchers, databases like AusStage and Theatre Aotearoa facilitate access to large datasets that can support their research questions. AusStage, for example, records information about events, contributors, venues, organisations, and works. Using this schema, researchers can then search the database to uncover relationships between any of these categories. AusStage also allows for resources, reviews, photographs, books, articles, and so forth, relating to any of these categories to be connected to the records. You can also record where the information used to populate the database is derived from, so that researchers are able to verify their sources. Importantly, the database is not fixed, but rather constantly in flux, able to be added to or updated all the time. So what sorts of research projects might benefit from this approach? Well, using AusStage, a research question could be designed around contributors, in other words, artists, their connections between one another, the scope of their careers, venues, the life and history of a venue told through volume and frequency of works produced, companies, patterns relating to programming, funding, recurring contributors, or works. How many times has a particular work been performed in a particular place or places? Or how many times has a work been performed over time? Actual examples of research that used AusStage's data in this way include Jonathan O'Brien's master's thesis, which visualised relationships in the performing arts sector in Brisbane, or Caroline Wake and Bonnie Cairncross's work on the Performance Space Archive. A database like AusStage can also facilitate macro-sector analysis, zooming out or looking at a sector as a whole. In Australia, Julie Hollidge, Jonathan O'Brien, and Tiffany Knight have analysed the gender comparisons in directing, acting and playwriting within AusStage records from 1950 to the present day. In practical terms, what steps need to be undertaken to use data about theatre and performance? Once you've decided on a research question, then the next step is to export the data. A common way of doing this from a database is to export as a CSV file and then open in a program such as Excel or Numbers. Data may need to be standardized before being able to be imported into visualization software. It may also need to be grouped in a different way or need a edit. Next, a researcher should consider not just what analysis can be performed using this data, but how they might be able to be visualized. Visualization has proved a powerful tool in the digital humanities. Maps are frequently utilized to show geographical reach or spread. In Derek Miller's study Average Broadway, he uses simple XY bar graphs to show changes over time. But using something like raw graphs, a free and open source tool for data visualization, opens up a world of possibilities with many visually engaging and interactive ways to present data. The more that databases are added to, the more data researchers will have to work with. But how might the existing capacities of digital databases be extended further in order to answer other, more complex research questions? AusStage has recently added a financial table to the database in order to be better able to track the financial status of arts organisations, including income and expenditure, and the extent of funding received by a company or individual. This is one example, but there are many other possibilities that are yet to be explored. As digital technology continues to advance, scholarship in theatre and performance will need to keep pace and absorb new methods and skills.